माखन चोर जय जय माखन चोर। श्री कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की। उपस्थित
I welcome all the loving devotees of Bhagvatam, attendees and devotees. I especially would love to extend my warm welcome and gratitude to the senior devotees of International Society of Krishna Consciousness who have beautifully decorated this assembly. I also would extend my welcome to all the listeners and devotees who've joined using the medium of Facebook, YouTube, Zoom, etc. And in particular, for the welfare of all and for the happiness of everyone, and to achieve the loving devotional service towards the Lord, that is Prema Bhakti, and in reverie of their ancestors, the organizers of this beautiful Katha, Munna Mataji's family from UK, that is the Rawat family, and from Mumbai, Vasaikar and Menon family, respectively. So we should remember their ancestors, Daiba Kumari Rawat, Padma Bahadurji, Kritimanji, Param Singh Ji, Gurkhaji, and from Vasikar and Menon family ancestor, Sri Vama Vasaikar, Anasuya Vasaikar, Giridhari Shivdasani, and Nirmala Shivdasani, Balakrishna Menon, Kamla Menon. I welcome you all, the devotees, on the final or concluding and the fifth day of this Bhagvat Katha, and please accept our humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Radhe Shyam. So, yes, till yesterday, we were celebrating the Pitru Paksh, and yesterday was the final Shraddha day, and now from today, the days of the internal potency of the Lord, that is Shakti, is starting. So, till now, we have been singing the glories of Shraddha Paksh, but from today, we will sing the glories of the internal potency of the Lord, that is Durga Devi, and her 9 manifestations or forms are celebrated on these 9 days, and it has started from today. And we are the bhaktas of Lord Vishnu, so for us everything surrounds Sankirtan movement. So you all participated in Sankirtan and dance and part enjoyed. Sapna didn't stand because she was, but in further days, we will all come prepared to sing and dance and enjoy the bliss. So what are the glories of Navratri Parv and how these Now 9 days after a battle, Mahishasur was killed, and how Ram and Ravana fought the battle for 9 days, and on the 10th day, on the day of Dussehra, Ravana was killed. So there will be a quite discussion on this on the next katha, that is on the 339th katha, which will be starting on 1st. We will listen in detail, but today we concluded the Pitru Paksh Katha, but the representative of all the Pitru, Parikshit Maharaj, is sitting on the banks of Bhagirath river. And so let's proceed Parikshit ji to Vaikuntha, and along with him our ancestors are going to the eternal abode of the Lord. And so we will conclude the katha today, and in the next katha is, I am aware that you all have huge expectations these days to listen new. You are interested in live fritters and everything, and you all like or love to listen to the pastimes according to the festivities, and it should be there. So let's create this moon to celebrate the Navratri and Ravan Dahan, etc. But today we will listen how Parikshit Maharaj went to the eternal abode of the Lord. So till now we have heard how Vitrasur venerated the Lord at the time of his death. Indra cut his throat, and he went to the eternal abode of the Lord. Parikshit Maharaj asked, how is it even possible that a person born in demonic body, who is surrounded in the battle, in the place of ignorance, and he is remembering Lord, people in Sattva-guna or mode of goodness, sitting in the temple, yet is unable to remind himself of the Lord. And Vitrasur could remember the Lord in the battlefield. What is the reason behind it? So Shukdev Goswami was asked this by Parikshit Maharaj, and so Shukdev Goswami shared the pastime of Vitrasur in his previous life, that is, he was a devotee of the Lord in his previous birth, but because he disrespected Shiva, he was cursed by Sati, and that is the reason he had to take the body of a demon. And in this 6th canto describes the pastime of Chitraketu, and there is a pastime of the impregnation of Diti. Kashyapji was asked that, requested by her to give her sons, but Kashyapji said that this is not an appropriate time because it is evening. But Diti did not agree and was persistent. So she gave birth to 2 demons, and they were born. The elder was Hiranyaksh, and the younger was Hiranyakashipu. You all are aware, a few days back we shared this pastime, that Hiranyaksh took the earth in the lower planetary system or underground, and Lord took the manifestation of a boar or a varaha and liberated or emancipated earth. And when Hiranyaksha realized this, and they both fought, and Varahadev killed Hiranyaksha. Then his wife, who was crying, all who were related to him, the whole society was crying. In Shrimad Bhagavatam, there is a pastime that at that time Hiranyakashipu gave them a counsel. So Hiranyakashipu was in trying to appease and pacify his family members. He gave them a counsel. He did a wonderful preaching. Although we are short on time, but it should be heard. So he said that we are not this body, we are soul, and one day we are going to die. And even if we die before, what difference it makes? So Hiranyakashipu shared a very great counsel, but that counsel was only for others, but he never followed it. His preaching was perfect, but it was not practiced by him. And he had this enmity and enviousness towards Lord Vishnu. So there is one thing that we should understand. In the 7th canto of Shrimad Bhagavatam, 2nd and 3rd chapters, beautifully he explains the theory of self-realization. So he gave this knowledge, but he never implemented even 1% of it in his own life. He distressed others. He used to intoxicate and meat eating. So one thing that we learn from here is a person who preaches other but do not imbibe it in their own life, they are relatives or Hiranyakashipu. They know how to speak well, and they speak like Vyas personified. But when it is to be imbibed or practiced in their own life, there it is zero. So what did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us? We should understand this very carefully. He said that if we are born in Bharatvarsh, then he said that it is my order that you all should preach. But what does it mean? Janma sarthakari, that means that first you need to practice devotional service and then you should preach it and you should be charitable to others. So not about you, but people like me who are in so much into preaching, they just speak. So they just speak but don't imbibe. So how much we speak, we should listen more than we speak and imbibe it in our own life. So we should listen more and then we should follow them, and then out of that we should speak. That is the theory. But sometimes, as we are discussing about Hiranyakashipu, we become in a habit that they listen, they make notes. There are quite a few people who make notes, but that is for others, not for their own reference. They just listen and then they speak. But first, after listening, we should understand and we should practice or imbibe in our own life, and then only we should speak. There is a verse in Niti which is said by the Lord himself.
chandanasya tathacha vipra shruti shastra yukta madbhakti hino kharvat vadanti. Khar mane gadha.
Khar means a donkey.
Gadha. तो यथा खर स्वयं भगवान कृष्ण कहते हैं कि जैसे
So Lord Krishna himself says that like a donkey carries loads and loads of sandalwood trees, they are used to transport these sandalwood trees, and such an expensive sandalwood, which is even as valuable as gold, is being carried by these donkeys. So the donkey takes the load of the sandalwood, and he understands that this is quite heavy, but at the same time he is unable to understand the glories of the sandalwood that he is carrying. So he understands the weight of the sandalwood trees, but he doesn't know the value or glories of the sandalwood tree. And Krishna says that similarly, there are quite few preachers who learn the Shrutis and Shastras, the Vedic injunction and scriptures, but they learn them and they recite them, but if they don't imbibe them or practically apply them in their own life, then they are no better than a donkey. They are just carrying the load of the Shastras or Vedic injunctions or scriptures, but they don't know the glories of the Vedic injunctions and scriptures. So you should listen, make notes, learn, but we should imbibe them as well. So for us, the first speaker should be ourselves. Whatever we preach or whatever we know, the first listener should be our heart or ourselves. Whenever I say something, I keep myself first and then all of you. So it is for self-purificatory process. It's for self-purification and for bliss. So as Hiranyakashipu used to preach very well, but he never imbibed any of it in his own life. And whence he rose from the Vyaspit, he went to the Mandar mountain, and because of his enviousness towards Lord Vishnu, he started to perform great austerity. You all are aware he was standing on the tips of his thumb of the feet with his both hands raised. He did such an extreme austerity. And when he started austerity, there was a fire that manifested from him, which was distressing everyone. And there are two different. When a devotee performs devotion, people get benefited. But if a demon performs austerity, then other people get distressed. So we should just see or judge that if others are getting distressed by us, then we are Hiranyakashipu. But if others are feeling blissful around us, then that means that we are on the right path of devotion. That should be the introduction of a pure devotee of the Lord. That no matter a person who is good or bad, but they should be happy with our devotion. So there might be a few who might criticize, but the result on whole should be positive. At least we should have passing marks. So Hiranyakashipu's austerity was burning the whole universe, and Brahmaji arrived and he asked for a benediction. So Hiranyakashipu asked so many benedictions in one boon. And after taking this benediction, he became a militant. He won the whole universe, all the lokas, and he became the controller of all the universe. All the demigods were forced to clean his home. He used to force them to work for him. Everybody started to respect him as a god, except his own 5-year-old son, who didn't agree on that. Hiranyakashipu tried hard to deviate Prahlad Maharaj, but it was not possible. And he said that in this, the forest of sandalwood trees, from where did this weed like babul came? Just uproot it. He tried to kill him under the elephant. He poisoned Prahlad Maharaj. And a room filled with serpents, he was forced to live there. He was told to sit on the lap of Holika, and he tried so hard to kill him, but Prahlad was protected. There is one Narayan Kavi who has written beautiful verses, and he said, that a person who has 2 hands can not harm the devotee of the Lord. Why? Because Narayan is the protector and who has thousands and thousands of hands. So a 2-hand man cannot distress a devotee of such Lord. So Prahlad was safe and protected. And ultimately, Hiranyakashipu says that I tried so hard to kill you. Who is protecting you? Prahlad says that the one who protects you, he protects me. The Paramatma sitting in our heart, who is no other than Lord Vishnu, protects us. Hiranyakashipu had scared away everyone, but this 5-year-old Prahlad is not scared of him. So just remember that a devotee is humble, but he is not afraid. Just by thinking that a devotee is there with folded hands doesn't mean that he's scared. And till he tries to keep mum. But a devotee is fearless, like Prahlad Maharaj. Hiranyakashipu said, where is your Vishnu? Prahlad said that the question is wrong. You should ask where exactly Vishnu is not there. He is omnipresent. Wherever I see, I see him everywhere. So he said that is Vishnu in this pillar? He said that if he is omnipresent, then he is there in the pillar as well. So Hiranyakashipu thought that just dying every day. Slowly, it's better to die one day. So he hit the pillar and the Lord manifested before even he kicked the pillar. And just to prove his devotees were correct or right, Lord Narasimha manifested. He had burning eyes, he was ferocious, he had huge teeth, and his tongue was filled with blood. He had great chest, and he was shining like the moon. And he had innumerous hands. He had sharp nails as weapons, and he had a huge form. And it is said that Lord Narasimha Dev's hair's movement, the clouds were moving from here and there. So even all these planets and stars, etc., became negligible in front of his effulgence. So the waves of the sea were because of his breathing, and he still shakes. When he roared, all the directions to keep this earth straight are 8 elephants are standing, but these even elephants got scared or shivered, and the earth lost her stability, and thus Hiranyakshipu was killed by Lord Narasimha. I'm just reminding you in short, because my goal is to send Parikshit Maharaj to the eternal abode of the Lord, as it's the concluding day. As I told yesterday, that the katha can be elaborated and can be said in short as well. So now we're listening in short. So when they were fighting, during that time when the evening arrived, so Narasimhadev took Hiranyakashipu on the doorway, and he reminded him of all the benedictions that he asked in the boon from Lord Brahma. And then he said that, and showed him the conditions, and then he so when a woman has to tear away a cloth, so they just put it in their mouth and then just tear it. Similarly, Narasimha Dev had not to work hard, and he just tear away the body of Hiranyakashipu. He just tear away his chest, and there was so much blood, like shower of blood, and all his intestines were snatched out. Demigods could not even venerate Lord Narasimha Dev, and the Lord took the intestines of Hiranyakashipu and put as garland in his neck. After that, he was venerated, and he took this beautiful incarnation. And a person who remembers Lord Narasimha Dev, they never feel any material or spiritual distress or obstacle in their life. Therefore, we should every day remember Lord Narasimha Dev and sing his prayer. And especially when we are going for any yatra or whenever we are traveling, then we should remember Narasimha Dev whenever we start a journey. And he is not only the destroyer of all the obstacles. Sridhar Goswami, by the mercy of Narsingadev, became the expert of Shrimad Bhagavatam. The things that even Shukdev Maharaj didn't reveal or were unknown were revealed by him. So we have heard the 7th canto so far. There is a beautiful pastime. Yudhishthira Maharaj organized a Rajsu Yajna, and there was a question that arose that who should be venerated first. So there is the pastime in the 7th canto. So there were so many options like Dronacharya, Bhishma Pitama, the elders and seniors of the family, but ultimately it was decided that Lord Sri Krishna should be venerated first, and everybody agreed on the same as well, except one person who said that Krishna should not be venerated first because he is a cheater, and his name was Shishupal. And he started abusing and cursing Lord Krishna. And Krishna has said that he will forgive him for 100 times. So even our Lord has a capacity of 100. And we are devotee of such Lord. So we should not test the devotee too much. They will control. Devotee will tolerate 1,000. But if it becomes too much, then a devotee also loses his control. So, devotee till the point is in the form of Ram, it's good. But if he becomes Lakshman, then he will heat the whole universe. So, Lord Shri Krishna beheaded Shishupal, and his soul, so not his soul, but Shishupal himself changed into a effulgence, and he merged in Lord Shri Krishna. And when Yudhishthira Maharaj saw this, he asked Naraji, what is all this? Please explain. Shishupal was so envious of Lord, and he cursed him, abused him, and he who was supposed to go to hell, he was liberated by the Lord. He got Sahujya Mukti or liberation. A person who deserved to be in hell, he attained the Lord. I saw it with my own eyes. That's what Yudhishthira ji told Narad Muni. He said, what is this? How he attained the eternal abode of the Lord? Why? Naradji replied beautifully that this is the nature of Lord Sri Krishna. He is very strange and amazing. And what is his uniqueness? A person who loves the Lord, but a person who is envious of the Lord, who has enmity towards the Lord, but no matter how he remembers the Lord, then he attains the Lord. If by love, then also, but even in enviousness or enmity, we should remember the Lord. Gopis didn't had the feeling of love towards Krishna, but they had kam bhav, that is the feeling of lust. They were in Shringar Ras, but they attained him. Kans remembered him with fear and he attained the Lord. Similarly, he is given quite a few examples. I just want to add that if a person who abuses the Lord attains the Lord, A person who is scared of Lord like Kansa attain the Lord, then people like us, if we love the Lord and perform unalloyed devotional service towards Him, then why we will not attain Him? We should keep faith. Krishna was and will be the same, but we should somehow always remember Him. And then what happened? So the total 7th canto is a conversation between Naraji and Yudhishthira Maharaj, and all of this was discussed about Prahlad Maharaj, Hiranyakashipu, and Nrsimhadev, etc. And in the same assembly, Yudhishthira asked or inquired Naraji about. He says that we are householders and is always busy to take care of the family and take the responsibility of family, wife, children, etc. It's a great entanglement. And now we have one more entanglement named net, that is internet.
और ऊपर से आधुनिक समाज में एक नई जाल आ गई, इंटरनेट. नेट माने जाल ही होती है ना. बंदा जैसे इंटरनेट शुरू करता है,
as a person opens the internet, he loses himself.
मतलब आता है तो 50 मिनट हो जाती है, समझ में नहीं आता.
And nobody understands how much time is lost.
मिलाकर गृहस्थम एताम पदवीम
So
विधिना येन चांजसा याति देव ऋषे ब्रूहि मादृशो गृह मुड्ढधि. हम गृहस्थी में रहने वाले लोग,
he says that we people who are householders and we want to attain the Lord, then please suggest us a pathway for the same. A person who is entangled in this responsibility of the household, how can a person like me attain the Lord? Please advise or counsel me. I have heard from our Guru Maharaj that next to them Lord Krishna was sitting, and he with folded hands told Naraji that please share how to attain the welfare, because Yudhishthir has one wife but I have 16,108 wives, so I am more entangled than him. So please share the pathway for our welfare. So Naraji shared a beautiful preaching, and I'm just summarizing it in short. So these can be spoken in detail for 7 days. Naraji says,
सबसे पहले गृहस्थी को चाहिए कि गृहस्थी कभी,
this is first of all, a householder should never leave his responsibility or filial home. There will be obstacles and distresses in our life according to our karma or whatever work we have done. We should not blame our spouse for the same. Sometimes it so happens that we suffer because of our karma, and after that they divorce each other. But if we divorce also, then also we cannot let go or forego our own actions or reactions of past karma or deed. So we should remain in the same situation and try to tolerate and do unalloyed devotional service towards the Lord, and our tolerance will increase. The distresses of this material universe will not distress more. And we should perform our work and offer it to Lord Shri Krishna. And the biggest thing for the householder is to entertain and welcome sages and saints into our
सफल
home.
तब मानी जाएगी
Our home is
जब हमारे
considered
घर पर साधु
successful
संत आएंगे।
only
मैं आप
when
सबको निवेदन
the
करूं, मैं
sages
भी
and
साधु,
sage
हम भी एक गृहस्थ
come
हैं।
to our home.
हमारी गृहस्थी
I am
की
also a
शोभा किसमें
householder,
है
and the
कि वार
jewel
त्योहार,
of
अवध
our
त्योहार,
household is
हमारे घर
that
पर साधु
during
संतों का
festivities
आगमन हो,
and
घर पर कथा कीर्तन
we
हो,
should have
भक्तों का प्रसाद
devotees
हो। इस
or
प्रकार की घर गृहस्थी हो ना, तो
sadhu
वैकुंठ
sannyasis
जाने की
at our
जरूरत
home.
नहीं,
We should have
घर ही
sankirtan.
वैकुंठ बन जाता है।
If we do some things like this,
और
then
जिस
our
गृहस्थी
home
में
will
संतों
become
का दर्शन न हो, कथा कीर्तन न हो, भक्तों का
Vaikuntha
प्रसाद न
itself.
हो, भक्तों की
If there
सेवा
is
न
no
हो,
prasad
उसे
or
नरक
service
जाने की
for the
जरूरत नहीं,
devotees,
क्योंकि
then
उसका
they
घर ही
don't have to
नरक
go
बन
to
चुका
hell
है।
because his home
ऐसा
itself has
चाणक्य
turned
पंडित
into a hell. This
चाणक्य
is what
नीति में लिखते हैं।
Chanakya Pandit says in Chanakya Niti.
तो साधुओं की सेवा करें
So
और
we should serve the
साधुओं
sages
के
and
चरणों
saints,
में बैठकर
and we should
शृण्वन्
sit
भगवतो वीक्षणम्
near their lotus
कथामृतम्
feet and listen to the
सर्वदां
pastimes of the
यथाकाल
Lord.
उपशांत जनावृतः। गृहस्थी को रोज
A householder should
साधुओं के मुख से भगवत
daily
कथा सुननी
listen to
चाहिए।
the pastimes of the Lord,
खास करके
especially
यहाँ अमृत चर्चा में जितने भी भक्त आ रहे हैं,
all who are
मैं कह सकता हूँ कि आप सब
gathering here
परफेक्ट
on Amrit
गृहस्थ
Charcha.
हो।
I can say that you
गृहस्थी
all are
आपका
perfect
कुछ नहीं
householder.
बिगाड़ सकती। आप
Material
गृहस्थी में
existence
रहकर भी
cannot
गृहस्थी से परे
touch
हो,
you or distress
जैसे
you
कमल
because you
कीचड़
are
में होता है,
beyond
लेकिन उस
the
कीचड़ से
household.
प्रभावित नहीं होता।
Although a
ठीक उसी प्रकार
lotus is
आप
in the
इसी
swamp, but
प्रकार
it's
रोज
never
भागवत
affected by the
सुनोगे,
same.
रोज कथा
Similarly,
सुनोगे,
if you
हाँ
listen to
सुनाने
the
वाला
Bhagavatam
साधु होना
daily,
चाहिए।
but
यहाँ
the
पर
speaker
सुनाने
should
वाला
be a
थोड़ा
sadhu.
मूर्ख मिल गया है, हैं? लेकिन भगवान से प्रार्थना करो तो
You
कोई
should
अच्छा
pray to
साधु
the Lord
मिले और
that we
कोई
get a great
विरक्त संत साधु से यदि रोज कथा
detached
सुनने मिले
sage or
तो मैं भी
celibate,
आपके साथ बैठ
and we
जाऊंगा
can listen
और जीवन को
to
धन्य
him. And
धन्य
I
कर
can also
सकते हैं।
sit and listen
यही
and
गृहस्थी का वास्तविक सार है। गृहस्थी
create
को यही करना है और हम
us
कर भी क्या सकते
our
हैं।
own welfare. And that is the essence of
घर
a
छोड़
householder
देना,
life.
सब कुछ
What
त्याग
more
देना,
we can
काम
do?
धंधा छोड़
Just
देना, ये हमारे लिए
leaving
नहीं।
everything,
छोड़ने की बात कोई नहीं
home,
करता,
work, job, we
जोड़ने
should
की
not
बात
be done.
नारद मुनि ने की है।
Naraji
सो इस प्रकार
told
से
to
गृहस्थों के
join,
लिए,
not to break.
सन्यासियों के लिए, स्त्रियों के लिए बहुत सुंदर शिक्षा दी गई और सप्तम स्कंद का विराम हुआ।
And thus the seventh canto
श्रीमद्
was
भागवत के
concluded.
अष्टम स्कंद में पुनः
So in the
श्री
eighth
सुखदेव
canto,
गोस्वामी
again,
महाराज
Sri Shukdev
परीक्षित को
Goswami
मनवंतर की कथा सुनाते हैं।
tells about Manvantaras to Parikshit Maharaj.
किस प्रकार से
How
समय की अवधि होती है
the
मनवंतर।
time is divided into Manvantaras.
प्रथम मनवंतर,
The first
दूसरा
Manvantara,
मनवंतर, तीसरा मनवंतर, चौथा मनवंतर।
second, third, fourth, and so on and so forth.
चौथा जो मनवंतर हुआ
So the fourth
वो तामस
Manvantara
मनवंतर था।
was called
और
Tamas
चतुर्थ
Manvantara,
मनवंतर में भगवान का एक
and
मनवंतर अवतार हुआ
there was
जिसका
a
नाम
incarnation of the
हरि
Lord,
अवतार।
this Manvantara
और
avatar, which
भगवान
was
हरि
called
ने
Hari.
इस
And this Lord
चतुर्थ
Hari,
अभी कौन सा मनवंतर है पहले ये
so
अभी
right now
सातवां
we are in
मनवंतर,
which Manvantar? We are in the
28वां चतुर्युग
seventh
और उसमें
Manvantar,
कलयुग चल
28th
रहा है।
Chaturyuga, and we are in Kali Yuga.
तो सातवें के पहले छठा, पांचवा, चौथा मनवंतर होगा ना।
So
तो चौथे
in the
मनवंतर
fourth
में
Manvantara,
जिसको तामस
Lord
मनवंतर
Hari
कहते हैं, भगवान
manifested
ने हरि अवतार धारण
in
किया
Tamas
और भगवान
Manvantara,
हरि ने
and
वराह के मुख से
this Lord
गजेंद्र का
Hari
उद्धार किया।
liberated
गजेंद्र पूरे वन को
Gajendra
भागा,
from
पत्नी बच्चों
the
के
mouth
साथ वन में गया।
of a
ग्रीष्म की
crocodile.
गर्मी, बच्चों को जल पीना था, सरोवर में उतरा,
Gajendra was
जल पान कराया,
in the deep
लेकिन कुछ
forest
देर जब
with
खेल
his
रहा
wife,
था
and
तो
he found
सरोवर का
water,
ग्राह
and they
गजेंद्र
started
के पांव
drinking,
को
and
पकड़ कर खींचा।
they started playing with the
100
water.
वर्ष तक युद्ध
But
चला,
he
गजेंद्र की
was
शक्ति क्षीण होते गई। बीच सरोवर में वो ग्राह उसे खींच कर लेकर गया।
dragged
उस
by the
गजेंद्र को
crocodile
बचाने
in
का
the
बहुत
deep
प्रयास किया उनकी पत्नियों ने, उनके बच्चों ने,
sea,
लेकिन जो
and his
मृत्यु के
family
मुख में
tried
चला
to
गया है,
protect him or
पूरी
save him,
दुनिया
but
मिलकर भी
nobody could do
उसे बचा नहीं सकती।
anything, and they fought.
जब
They
अंतिम घड़ी
struggled for
आई
100
वो
years.
ग्राह
At
बस
the
अब
time
खींचकर
of
डुबाने ही वाला था,
death as he was about to be dragged till because his neck was also in the water and was about to die. But previously he was the king and he was cursed, and he was a devotee of the Lord. He was Indraduman king who got reminded of his previous life veneration that he used to do for the Lord. So the prayer that he had learned in the previous life, he reminded it and he sang it.
गोपाल अब तो जीवन हाय, हे गोविंद राखो शरण, अब तो जीवन हारे, हे गोविंद हे गोपाल अब तो जीवन हारे। मानो भगवान ऊपर से कहे, गजेंद्र क्या हुआ बाप, भाई तुझे क्या प्रॉब्लम क्या है? तब गजेंद्र कहता, नीर पीवन हेतु गयो सिंधु के किनारे, सिंधु बीच बसत ग्राम चरण धरी पछारे, चार प्रहर युद्ध भयो लई गयो मजदारे, नाक कान डूबन लागे कृष्ण को पुकारे, नाक कान डूबन लागे कृष्ण को पुकार, द्वारिका में शब्द गयो शोर भयो बारे। गजेंद्र के मुख से निकला हुआ शब्द ब्रह्मांड को भेद कर भगवान के धाम में गया, और द्वारिका में शब्द गयो शोर भयो बारे, शंख चक्र गदा पद्म गरुड़ लई सिधारे, शंख चक्र गदा पद्म गरुड़ लई सिधारे, सूर कहे श्याम सुनो अर्ज है हमारी, अब की बार पार करो नंद के दुलारे। सूरदास जी कहते हैं,
Surdas ji says, we all are stuck in this material ocean. We are also stuck in this material existence of, and as you protected Gajendra, similarly protect us and please make us cross this material ocean of existence. So Gajendra addressed or called the Lord and he was protected. And later in the 6th Manvantara, it is called Chakshuk Manvantar, he incarnated as Ajit, and this Lord Ajit made the demigods and demons to come together and churn the ocean. The demons and demigods befriended each other and started churning the ocean. 14 gems were manifested, and the 14th was the nectar or elixir, but the demons took the elixir and started running. So the demigods came at the and took the shelter of the Lord, and just to protect them, he took the
और
incarnation of
मोहिनी अवतार
Mohini
लेकर भगवान ने
and
असुरों को जो ठगा है,
he cheated the demons.
गुरुदेव इस कथा को
Gurudev
बड़े आनंद से सुनाते थे।
shares this
कभी
pastime
कभी
with
हम गुरुदेव
great
के पास जाते थे, कहते थे मेरे पास
bliss,
केवल
and
2 मिनट
sometimes
है,
he
तो हम
used to say
बैठते
that
थे, थोड़ी सी चर्चा
I have
करके
just
हम
only
तो
two
जाने
minutes
की तैयारी, तब
and
तक
we
ये
will just,
प्रसंग जब उनके मुख पर आ
and
जाता
if
तो
this
घंटों
pastime was
भर वो 2
discussed, then
मिनट कहाँ चली गई
he
ये बात
used to
उनसे
speak for
भूल जाते।
hours. Even if he
घंटों भर
forget his
बिल्कुल
2 minutes,
आविष्ट
and
होकर प्रविष्ट
he
होकर
used to be so much
इन कथाओं का
engrossed
आस्वादन
in these
कभी
pastimes.
भागवत में, कभी एकांत में
Sometimes in Bhagavatam
गुरुदेव के मुख से
Katha
सुनते
and
थे।
sometimes in seclusion,
भगवान
I
ने
have heard
मोहिनी
from
रूप
his
धारण
mouth.
करके असुरों को ठगा, असुरों से अमृत लेकर देवताओं को पान कराया।
So he cheated
अमृत
the
पीकर
demons
देवता
and gave the
शक्तिमान हुए,
elixir to
देवासुर संग्राम हुआ, देवताओं
demigods,
ने असुरों
and they
का
became
विध्वंस कर
powerful,
दिया, नामो निशान मिटा दिया,
and they destroyed
घमासान
the
हुआ।
demons.
असुरों के गुरु शुक्राचार्य आए,
And
मृत संजीवनी विद्या जानते थे,
the
अपने
the
मृत
spiritual master
संजीवनी
of the
विद्या से
demons, Shukracharya,
जो बड़े
knew
बड़े असुर
about the
थे
Mrit
उनको
Sanjeevani
जीवित कर
Vidya, that
दिया,
is, he could
बलि
make the
महाराज
dead
को जीवित
alive.
किया,
So
और
he
भी अनेकों असुरों को जीवित किया।
made all the
असुरों से
demons
यज्ञ
come
करवाए,
back to life,
देवता भोगों में
and he
फंसे हैं, असुर
told
यज्ञ कर रहे हैं।
them to perform fire sacrifices and
यज्ञ करके
yajnas,
असुरों की
while
शक्ति बढ़ी,
demigods were
भोग
engrossed
भोगत
in
कर
sense
देवताओं
enjoyment,
की शक्ति घटी,
and the
विश्वजित यज्ञ किया,
demigods
बलि महाराज
became
ने असुर देवताओं के
weak,
ऊपर चढ़ाई की,
while the demons became
साधु
stronger.
सेवा के कारण
And because he had
बलि
served the
महाराज ने
devotees
स्वर्ग
of
को
the
जीत
Lord,
लिए,
Bali Maharaj
देवताओं को
won
स्वर्ग
the
खाली करना पड़ा,
heaven, and the demigods had to
देवताओं की
vacate
माता
the
अदिति
heaven. So the
पयोव्रत
mother of
रहती हैं, और 13वें
demigods,
दिन
Aditi,
पयोव्रत रहने से
performed
भगवान प्रसन्न
Payovrat,
होते हैं।
and the Lord
कहा
is
असुरों को
satisfied
हरा
and
नहीं
happy.
सकता,
He said
लेकिन
that
आपका बेटा बनकर आऊंगा, असुरों
I
से भिन्न
cannot
मांगूंगा।
defeat the demons,
भगवान
but I
विष्णु
will come as your son.
अदिति के पुत्र
And
वामन बनकर
Lord
प्रकट
Vishnu
हुए,
manifested as
क्योंकि
Vaman
कहते
avatar,
हैं
and you
विष्णु
all are aware.
वामन थई चालिया रे। भगवान वामन 5 साल के बोना
Lord
स्वरूप हैं,
Vaman,
साधारण शरीर है,
as a
कहते हैं
5-year-old child,
यज्ञशाला में गए,
manifested, and he went to
बलि से
the
वचन ले लिए, 3 पग भूमि में,
the place of
तो
fire
पूरा
sacrifice,
ब्रह्मांड ही प्राप्त कर लिया।
and he took the
इंद्र को
whole
स्वर्ग दिया,
universe
बलि को
in 3
सुतर
steps.
लोक का राजा
He
और भक्ति का वरदान
gave
दिया। इस
heaven
प्रकार
to
से
Indra and
मनवंतर की
Sutalok
कथा
to Bali
सुखदेव जी ने
Maharaj,
सुनाई,
and
और फिर
this
अंतिम
pastime was
मनवंतर
shared
में
by Shukdev ji. Then in the
राजा सत्यव्रत
last
को
Manvantar,
माध्यम बनाकर
through the
तप्त
medium of
नदी में,
Satyavrat,
पहले तो छोटा सा मत्स्य हाथ में आया,
uh,
सत्यव्रत उसे घर पर लेकर आए,
was a
धीरे धीरे
small
बड़ा हुआ,
fish
और
which
बड़ा
was
और बड़ा,
bought at home by him,
पुनः
and
समुद्र
it
में डाला,
started getting
महामत्स्य
bigger and
वहां पर
bigger
प्रकट।
every day.
सत्यव्रत राजा ने कहा
And this
कि
king
आप कोई
Satyavrat
साधारण मत्स्य नहीं है,
said that you're not an ordinary fish. Please tell me,
भगवान ने खुलासा किया कि मैं विष्णु हूँ,
who are you?
आज से
So he
7
said that
साल
I am
के
Vishnu,
बाद
and
प्रलय होने
after
वाला
7
है,
days,
पूरा
the
संसार तबाह होगा,
material
लेकिन फिर भी
universe will be
भक्त हो,
destroyed.
मैं
But you
तुम्हारी
are
रक्षा
my
करूंगा।
devotee, so I will
जितने
protect
भी अन्न
you.
औषधि
And
सप्तर्षि ऋषि मुनि,
take
इन
all the
सबको
sages,
लेकर एक
saints,
नौका में बैठ जाना, मैं
medicines,
इसी स्वरूप
etc.,
में आऊंगा,
and all the
वासुकी के साथ
species,
मुझे
you
बांध
take all
देना,
of them,
जब तक प्रलय
and I will
चलेगा
come in this form.
तब
So
तक
just
मैं
tie this
तुम्हें
boat with me,
उस
and
समुद्र में, उस प्रलय के
till the
जल में
time of this
विहार कराऊंगा।
destruction, I will
मानो
roam,
सत्यव्रत हमारी भाषा में कहे कि
I will
प्रलय तो बहुत समय तक
keep you
चलेगा,
in that
पर
boat
हम लोग
safe.
बोट में बैठकर बोर नहीं हो जाएंगे।
So if
तो
Satyavrat says that
भगवान मत्स्य ने कहा चिंता मत करो, मैं तुमको
we
कथा
might get bored,
सुनाऊंगा,
but Matsuri
ये
says that
सत्य बात है।
I will share the
जब तक
pastimes
प्रलय
with you.
चला तब तक
Till
भगवान
the
मत्स्य
point
ने अपने मुख से उन
this
ऋषि मुनियों
was
को, राजा
happening,
सत्यव्रत को कथा सुनाई, और
Matsya
भगवान मत्स्य के मुख से जो
Lord
कथा निकली वही है
told
मत्स्य पुराण। हम
the
लोग कहते हैं ना
pastimes
मत्स्य
to all
पुराण,
the sages and saints,
ये
and
मत्स्य पुराण
whatever
यही
he
है,
said
मत्स्य के
is
मुख
the
से निकली
Matsya
है।
Puran.
तो श्रीमद्
It is
भागवत
known
अष्टम स्कंद
as
समाप्त
Matsya
होता
Puran.
है, अंत
So
में
the
जो
8th
कथा होती है।
canto is concluded,
भागवत के 9वें स्कंद में
and in the
स्वर्गवंश
9th canto,
और सूर्य वंश के राजा
there
महाराजाओं
is a
की सुंदर
description
सुंदर
of
कथा,
the clans of
जिसमें
Suryavansh and
महाराज
Chandravanश,
अम्बरीश का चरित्र,
where
नभग नाभाग, ये सारे चरित्र
Ambrish, Nabhag, Bhag, etc. are discussed. And in short, the pastimes of Lord Ram and Krishna were described in short. So Parikshit said that this is not right. I want to listen to the pastimes of Lord Shri Krishna in detail. Then Shukdev Goswami started with the birth of Lord Shri Krishna. After his birth, he is small child, and he said that about all his deeds, and he said that first deed that he did was to rob the gopis of butter, and they all started complaining. Yashoda didn't believe that I have no shortage of butter in my home. Why will he steal? So when she got repeated complaints, and she said that there might be some problem. She said that maybe the butter that I make, that butter in my home is not made by me but by the servant. So on the day of Diwali, she woke up early morning and she started making the butter for the Lord herself. And Lord Shri Krishna comes with an wish or desire to drink the milk. She starts to breastfeed him, and on the fire there was milk. So in order to protect that milk which was about to fall, she left Krishna aside, and in the pot which she was churning to make butter, she broke that pot. Mother Yashoda, when she came, she saw that the pot was broken and everything was scattered. So she said that till now I have never trusted people, but today he has broken the pot in our house. That means that he might be breaking the pots outside and stealing the butter. Today I will not spare him. She took the stick and started searching him. She she started chasing Lord Sri Krishna, and there was just a difference of one hand, and but he was not achievable, and they were running from one room to another room and in the streets of Gokul. And one point of time, Krishna reduced his speed and Yashoda increased her speed, and immediately she got hold of him, and Satyavat Muni wrote beautifully.
लसत् कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमान नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत् कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमान यशोदाभियोनुखनादवमानम् यशोदाभियोनुख परामृष्टमत्यं ततो धृत्य गोप्या रुदन्तमुहुर्नेत्र युग्ममृजन्तं कराम्भोजयुग्मेन सातङ्कनेत्रम् मुहुश्वासकम्पात्रिरेखाककण्ठ मुहुश्वासकम्पात्रिरेखाककण्ठ पितग्रेवदामोदरं भक्तिबद्धम् हो जन्माष्टमी गई, राधाष्टमी आई। राधाष्टमी गई तो पितृपक्ष प्रारंभ हुआ, पितृपक्ष समाप्त तो अब नवरात्रि, अब नवरात्रि के बाद कार्तिक महीना। आहा नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानंद रूपम लसत् कुंडलं गोकुले व्रजमानम् यशोदाभियोनुकलादवमानम् परामृष्टमत्यन्ततो धृत्य गोप्या। क्या है, लास्ट 15 दिन से पितृपक्ष चल रहा है और इस पितृपक्ष में बहुत सुंदर सेवा।
15 days we have been celebrating the festivities of Shraddha Paksha, and all of you have tried to serve in many places. So we will have the darshan of the same, and then we will proceed to the conclusion of Shrimad Bhagavatam.
आज का जो प्रसाद वितरण कार्यक्रम है वो अमृत चर्चा परिवार द्वारा आयोजित किया गया है। और पितृपक्ष के पावन अवसर पर जो सबसे श्रेष्ठ तिथि मानी जाती है, पितृपक्ष अमावस्या मानी जाती है। और इस अमावस्या के पावन अवसर पर आज अमृत चर्चा परिवार द्वारा साधु संत एवं ब्राह्मणों के भोजन का आयोजन किया गया है। इसमें मैं समस्त अमृत चर्चा परिवार के पितरों एवं जो भी पूर्वज हैं सबके उद्धार की प्रभु से कामना करता हूँ। इसी प्रकार के आयोजन ये कराते रहें, संत भोज ब्राह्मण भोज ये कराते रहें, जिससे इनके पितृ एवं जो पूर्वज हैं उनके कल्याण निरंतर होते रहें, साथ में ये मोक्ष की प्राप्ति करें। आइए आपको दर्शन कराते हैं हम जो साधु भोज एवं संत भोज आयोजित किया गया है अमृत चर्चा परिवार द्वारा, उसका आप सभी को दर्शन कराते हैं। राधे राधे।
ये आप दर्शन कर सकते हैं कि साधु भोज संत भोज आयोजित किया गया है, जिसमें संत 108 संतों का साधुओं का भोजन है। अभी कुछ संत यहाँ आ चुके हैं, कुछ संत अभी आ रहे हैं जो प्रसाद वितरण में और प्रसाद प्राप्ति के लिए यहाँ उपस्थित रहेंगे। ये अमृत चर्चा परिवार द्वारा सुंदर भोज का आयोजन किया गया है। मैं ठाकुर जी से कामना करता हूँ, विनती करता हूँ कि समस्त अमृत चर्चा परिवार को सुख समृद्धि वैभव यश प्रदान करे तथा उनके पूर्वज और जो भी पितृ हैं उन सभी को मोक्ष की प्राप्ति करें।
नाम जपो मन आठो याम, 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 नाम बिना है नहीं यारा, नाम बिना है नहीं यारा, नाम बिना है नहीं यारा, नाम बिना है नहीं आरा, नाम लिए कछु लगे न मोह, 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 केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल, मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि 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 बोल, जय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, जय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, जय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, जय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल। गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, 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 गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल हरे कृष्णा। अमित नारायण प्रभु, आप सूचना दे सकते हैं स्पॉटलाइट करते हुए।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा। सो हम बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करते हैं हमारे गोविंद टीवी की टीम को, जिन्होंने इस सारे स्थानों पर जाकर हम सबको यहाँ पर इन सारे वैष्णव के बिहाफ में जो सेवा हुई है उसके दर्शन कराए। और विशेष यहाँ पर ये जो हम इस वक्त देख रहे हैं, ये उन समस्त पितरों के नाम हैं जिनके उपलक्ष्य में यहाँ पर ये सारी सेवा हुई है। तो उन सभी वैष्णव को एक बार फिर से हम लोग स्मरण करिए। और जो भी वैष्णव हम लोग, यानी समस्त ये श्राद्ध पक्ष था, जो समस्त अमावस्या का दिन था, जिसमें हमने समस्त वैष्णव का श्राद्ध किया और उसके पश्चात उनके बिहाफ में सारी सेवाएं हुई। और अब तक जो भी वैष्णव यहाँ पर सब सेवा किए थे, उन सभी वैष्णव के लिए यहाँ पर हमें पुनः सेवा करने का अवसर मिला। तो वेरी ग्रेटफुल टू ऑल द वैष्णवस जिन्होंने यहाँ पर इस श्राद्ध पक्ष के अंतर्गत पार्टिसिपेट किया और अपने एवं अपने पितरों के उद्धार हेतु हमारे श्री राधा गोविंद गोस्वामी में उन्होंने सुंदर पार्टिसिपेशन किया। और अनेक अनेक वैष्णव, अनेक अनेक पितरों के नाम हमें मिले जिनके बिहाफ में हमने सेवा करके बड़ा ही आनंद हुआ। और खासकर हमारी जो गोविंद टीवी टीम थी, जो कि उन स्थानों पर थी जहाँ पर ये सारी सेवाएं हो रही थी, वो भी बड़े प्रसन्न थे, क्योंकि जब हम सेवा का कार्य करते हैं तो एक चमत्कारी सुख का आनंद होता है, अनुभव होता है। जब हम रियली ग्रेटफुल होकर हृदय से किसी की सेवा करते हैं तो बहुत ही आनंद की अनुभूति होती है। और वैसा ही कुछ यहाँ पर हमारे भी भक्तों को हुआ, तो हम उनके धन्यवाद करते हैं। वो भी हमें धन्यवाद कर रहे थे कि इस प्रकार हमें सेवा में लगाने के लिए। सो वंस अगेन थैंक यू सो मच टू द dear Vaishnavas for being a part of this wonderful पितृ श्राद्ध सेवा। और आप सभी भक्तों ने यहाँ पर सुंदर सहयोग किया और इसके फलस्वरूप हम सब एकत्रित होकर ऐसे अनेक पितृ हैं जो कि शायद ये कामना करते हुए बैठे थे, यानी कि हमारे जो परिवारजन है, स्नेहीजन है, ये साल हमारे लिए कुछ श्राद्ध करेंगे या फिर करें, उनके बिहाफ से हमें कुछ मिला है। तो उन सभी वैष्णव के लिए, उन सभी पितरों के लिए हमें सेवा करने का अवसर मिला। बड़ा ही हर्ष हुआ और आनंद हुआ इन सभी भक्तों की बिहाफ में ये सेवा देखते हुए हम सबको। और आप सबको भी हम धन्यवाद करते हैं कि आप सबने भी ये सुंदर इनिशिएटिव लिया, जहाँ पर इन सारे भक्तों के प्रति, अपने स्वजनों के प्रति आपने सेवा करने के लिए यहाँ पर आ गया है। सो वंस अगेन आप सभी भक्तों का हम बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करते हैं। और साथ ही साथ हमारे भक्त जो कि इस प्रकार इन स्थानों में गए थे, गया में गए थे, वृंदावन गए थे, और हमारे मोहन प्रभु जिन्होंने भी बहुत सुंदर ये यज्ञ का अनुष्ठान उन्होंने किया था मोहन प्रभु ने, और बहुत सुंदर सेवा उन्होंने की वहाँ पर, है ना। बहुत सारे भक्तों को एकत्रित करके उन सभी को एंगेज किया यहाँ पर इस यज्ञ में। और ये जो हमारे समस्त पितृगण के जिनके हमें नाम देखे, उन सबके विवाह में वो स्वयं हर एक नाम उच्चारण करते हुए उन सबके लिए आहुति उन्होंने दी। So very grateful to Mohan Prabhu. Thank you so much for this wonderful seva. Mohan Prabhu is one of the part of our team right now, जो कि हमारे इस्कॉन चार्को की बहुत ही सुंदर कार्यभार संभाल रहे हैं और बहुत सुंदर सेवा कर रहे हैं। थैंक यू प्रभु जी। और सभी भक्तों को हम धन्यवाद करते हैं और निवेदन करें कि बस इसी प्रकार से सेवा करते रहिएगा, और जिससे कि हमारी ये जो भक्ति का मार्ग है और अच्छे और सुगम हो सके। प्राय हम सब बहुत सारी प्रकार की बाधाएं अनुभव कर रहे हैं, तो इसका एकमात्र कारण यह भी है कि हम कहीं ना कहीं हमारे जो नियत कर्तव्य है उससे हम कहीं दूर भाग रहे हैं। भक्ति के नाम पर हम उसे अवॉइड करना चाहते हैं कि नहीं, सिंस नाउ आई एम परफॉर्मिंग कृष्ण भक्ति, सो आई डोंट नीड टू बी अ पार्ट ऑफ ऑल दिस रिचुअल्स। बट नहीं, भगवान स्वयं भी इसे करते हैं और हमें भी सिखाते हैं। आपने आचरित प्रभु जीवे सिखाए, श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु स्वयं आचरण करके लोगों को ये सिखा रहे हैं कि हम सबको भी इस प्रकार के कार्य में जुड़ना चाहिए। Yes, unless we are a pure devotee, and nobody can claim that I'm a pure devotee. So that's why we have to be we have to keep doing all these sevas. So सभी भक्तों का धन्यवाद कि इस प्रकार सेवा में आपने सहयोग किया, पार्टिसिपेट किया। और यहाँ पर बहुत ही सुंदर हम भागवत कथा श्रवण कर रहे थे। पिछले 15 दिन से लगातार हम पितरों की महिमा को समझ रहे थे, जान रहे थे, प्रभु जी के मुखारविंद से श्रवण करने को मिला। तो जिसी के फलस्वरूप इतने सारे भक्तों ने यहाँ पर अपने पितरों के नाम हमें दिए। तो थैंक यू सो मच प्रभु जी वंस अगेन, आप सबने इस इतने सब सारे भक्तों को मोटिवेट किया, और साथ ही साथ बहुत ही ये सुंदर पर्व भी हमारे बीच में आया, जिसमें हमने आपके मुखारविंद से अनेक अनेक सुंदर कथाएं सुनी, हरिनाम महिमा सुनी, जो कि वर्ल्ड होली नेम वीक चल रहा था। उस दौरान हमें हरिनाम की महिमा श्रवण करने को मिली, पितरों की इतनी सुंदर महिमा श्रवण की, और जो हमारी पिछले 15 दिनों से हमने एक विषय जो कि रखा था, जिसका नाम था संपूर्ण भागवत या भागवत की ओवरव्यू, जो आपने यहाँ पर हमें कराई, और आज इसी के अंतर्गत बहुत सुंदर सुंदर प्रसंग हमने पुनः आस्वादन किया आपके मुखारविंद से, जिसमें कि हमने अभी श्रवण किया कैसे सुंदर भागवत कथा है, और ये भागवत की महिमा को दर्शाते हुए प्रहलाद महाराज का प्रसंग आपने बताया हमें अभी, और उसके पश्चात हमने नर्क का वर्णन भी श्रवण किया, और अभी भी बहुत सुंदर गजेंद्र का प्रसंग आपने श्रवण कराया। तो कुल मिलाकर भागवतम की ये श्रृंखला आपने हमें बताई, इसके लिए हम आपके ऋणी हैं और बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करते हैं। सो आज इस कथा का जैसे हम देखते हैं कि ये पुनःहुति दिन है, और आने वाले दिनों में बहुत सुंदर भागवत कथा पुनः हम श्रवण करने वाले हैं। आप सभी से हम अवगत कराना चाहते हैं कि आप अपने कैलेंडर में हमारी ये जो आने वाली भागवत कथा की डेट्स हैं उसे नोट कर लीजिएगा, जिससे कि आप पुनः हमारे साथ में इस प्लेटफॉर्म पर एकत्रित होकर इस प्रकार भागवत कथा में आ सके, बैठ सके और इसका आनंद ले सके। तो हमारे पटेल फैमिली जो कि न्यू जर्सी से है, हमारे डॉक्टर कृष्णा माता जी, जिनके सहयोग से उनकी माता, उन्होंने सुंदर भागवत कथा का आयोजन किया है, में सहयोग किया है। तो आने वाली 1 अक्टूबर से लेकर 5 अक्टूबर हम इस कथा को श्रवण करेंगे, और यही समय रहेगा 8:30 बजे से लेकर 11 बजे रात के भारत के लिए, और सुबह 11 बजे से लेकर दोपहर के 1:30 बजे यूएसए के लिए। सो आप सभी भक्त इस डेट्स को नोट कर लीजिएगा, आने वाली 1 से 5, और पुनः हम सब एकत्रित हो गए एक नए फेस्टिवल जो कि हमारे बीच में प्रारंभ हो चुका है, नवरात्रि। कुछ इस विषय में श्रवण करेंगे, और कुछ श्री राम विजयोत्सव जो कि आने वाले दशहरा के दिन इस कथा को विराम होने वाला है। तो ऐसी कथाओं को हम पुनः प्रभु जी के मुखारविंद से श्रवण करेंगे, बिल्कुल प्रसंग अनुसार कथाएं सुनेंगे। तो बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद एक बार फिर से। आइए निवेदन करते हैं श्रीमान लाल गोविंद प्रभु जी से कि इस शेष कथा को श्रवण कराएं। हरे कृष्ण। धन्यवाद।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। 11.5 वर्ष तक
So till 11.5 years, Lord Sri Krishna
ब्रज में बहुत सुंदर लीला की है।
did his pastimes in Braj.
चोरी लीला,
He used to steal the butter, the killing of
उद्धार,
Putna, liberation of Trinavrit,
उद्धार, बकासुर उद्धार, ब्रह्मा जी
and all other demons, and confusion of Lord Brahma, Dhenukasura's liberation, Pralambasura's liberation, and to drink the forest fire, and then the Venu Geet by the gopis, stealing the clothes of gopis, and to give his mercy to the wives of the brahmanas. He holded the Govardhan hill for 7 days, and then on Sharad Purnima, Ras Leela, and during that pastime of rasa, he gave them the taste of separation and In that situation, the gopis sang the Gopi Gita, and then again Raslila, and then he left for Mathura. Then he liberated so many people he came across, like Hubja, the tailor, etc., and all the demons, and his own uncle Kans, who was killed by him, and he freed his parents from the prison house. For the love of parents, he could not go back to Braj, and he stayed in Mathura. Jarasandh 17 times attacked Mathura, and Krishna and Balram destroyed his army. And 18th time, to protect the Brahmanas fighting with Jarasandh, they escape or run away towards a mountain, and they come to Dwarika. And after he comes to Dwarika, then only Gujarati works.
રાજા રણ છોડે છે એણે મને માયા લગાડી રે એણે મને માયા લગાડી મારા વાલા એણે મને માયા લગાડી મારા વાલા મીરાનો નાથ મારો ગિરધર ગોપાલ છે એણે મને માયા લગાડી રે. फिर तो भगवान श्री कृष्ण द्वारिकाधीश हो गए.
And he became the king of Dwarika and was known as Dwarikadish. He shifted all his citizens from Mathura to Dwarika, and he married Rukmini ji. And then he married so many, and he married 16,108 wives. He met with Sudama. Parikshit didn't ask. This is the only pastime in Bhagvatam, is when a milk seller comes to give milk. So when he gives the milk, he gives little extra. So usually we get some bonus, and that extra bonus that we get is far more enjoyable. So Shukdev ji spoke so many pastimes, but he shared one more pastime from his own end, and that was the meeting of Krishna and Sudama. How a poor Brahmana of Porbandar became friend of Krishna, and how they have a bond of love between them. So the destruction of the Yadu clan, 10th canto is concluded, and 11th canto, which is called the Canto of Liberation, where Nav Yogeshwar and the king of Mithila, Janak ji, converse with each other. Maharaj Janak asked 9 questions, and each question is answered in each chapter by these the stages. Now Yogeshwar showed the greatness of Sanatana Dharma. And the last question, that so in there were 9 sages. in Navryogeshwar, and the last question towards the end of Bhagavatam is asked by Janakji. He said that what will be the next incarnation of the Lord and what will be the process to attain the Lord. So if someone is intelligent, he will ask that now what are we supposed to do? Then Karbhojan Rishi tells in Satyuga, this pastime, that in Satyuga the Lord is white hued and his name is Hans, and to attain him we need to perform dhyan or meditation. And in the second or in the Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, we have to perform yajna, and in Dwapar he is black or cloud colored, and we need to make temples and perform deity worship. But in the Kali Yuga, the Lord will manifest as with yellow hue, and he will be Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is mentioned in the 11th canto. Sometimes people say that where is the reference of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? So there are thousands, but in Shrimad Bhagavatam it is mentioned as a Krishnam, and he manifested with his eternal associates. And if we perform Sankirtan, then we can attain him. And if a person is intelligent, Sumedhasa, they only will do this work. So in this manner, 11th canto was concluded, and there was a oracle that such a great Kali Yuga will arrive, and what will be the end of Kali Yuga? People will start men will start eating men. There will be shortage of water, there will be drought, and there will be so much high intensity of the sun, there will be drought, and then the Samartha cloud will put so much rainfall that the whole universe will get drowned in the same. So in the 12th canto, it's the mention of the end of the Kali Yuga, and when it was all shared by Shukdev Maharaj, then Parikshit Maharaj says, and just imagine the thought of Parikshit Maharaj. His eyes are filled with tears, and he praises Shukdev Maharaj. Said, throughout my life, at the end of my life, I got such a great spiritual master, a speaker, and your words that was flowing like Katha, Amrit or nectar, and I am now so engrossed in Lord Sri Krishna, and now I am confident that in my mind, heart and soul, Krishna is there. So in 7 days of the Katha, I have become totally engrossed in Krishna, and I'm sure that I will go to the eternal abode of the Lord. Everybody is sitting there and to see the liberation of Parikshit Maharaj, and there are the chariots from the sky, and the associates of the Lord come down, and they take Parikshit Maharaj to the eternal abode of the Lord. Shukdevji stood or arose, and who is Shukdev? I want to share with you today. I want to make one more revelation today. Shukdev, who let go of his parents, he was the crystal of detachment, Yet when a listener like Parikshit, when even Shukdev's eyes were filled with tears, that we will get so many listeners, but we cannot get a listener like Parikshit Maharaj. And that is our desire. No matter what, at least we should become a listener like Parikshit Maharaj.
शिवदेव जी की आंखें आंसुओं से भर आई और वहां से निकल गए.
And he left. And all the sages and saints also left. And Parikshit went to the eternal abode of the Lord. His body was still there. And because the curse of a sadhu cannot be failed, the Takshiknak or serpent came. And Janmajit thought that I will not let the serpent touch my father's body. So people said that this is the curse of a sannyasi. So he just bit the body of Parikshit because his soul has already left the body and went to the eternal abode of the Lord. Shrimad Bhagavatam is such a scripture that 7 days, if someone listens it carefully, he can focus on the Lord completely and can achieve the eternal abode of the Lord. When Parikshit Maharaj attained the Lord in 7 days, we have so many days, we are listening from so many years. If we listen with faith and love, definitely we will be liberated. The time will elapse, but we are all indebted to Parikshit and nobody will be able to repay him because this one human has given the Bhagavatam to us. Just imagine if Parikshit wouldn't have been there and on the banks of Bhagirathi, had he not been sitting there, then Shukdev would have spoken to whom? So just listen carefully. Bhagavatam, how deep it will be and how great it will be depends on it depends on the listeners, and it's not that the depth of the katha depends on the listeners, not the speaker. No matter the speaker has knowledge, mellow, or love, but it has to be presented according to the level of the listener as well. That is the reason I venerate all of you, and I want to tell you my own personal experience. Sometimes I don't feel well, and Yajman has already invited people, and I'm talking about the physical katha, and, 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 and even I don't reveal that I am suffering. So if a person is organizing katha in 300 days out of 365, then but the love of the host and the faith that they have, that as soon as I sit on Vyaspeed, I don't feel any distress and disease. And we were not getting treated by so much medicine, but the moment we sit at Vyaspeed, we are able to speak well. It is just because of the love of the listeners and their faith that speaks through the mouth of the speaker or orator. The level of Parikshit was so high that Shukdev presented the hi-fi Bhagavatam, the benefit of which we all are getting. And if a person is considered to be the king, then it is only Parikshit Maharaj, because only to take care of the body of a king of the citizens is not. sufficient, but they have to take care of the soul of the citizens as well. And Parikshit did it not for his citizens, but for all the mankind till eternity. He has nurtured them all. Such great is Parikshit Maharaj. And all the hosts who have organized such kathas are great, because a person he organized this katha, they arrange so much and they work so hard, but so many will get benefited of this. Though not even the speaker, not the host realize. We we don't even realize where it reaches and how many people get benefited. And that is why gopis have said, Tva katha, that in this earth, the biggest charitable person is the person who gives your katha by speaking or by organizing or by listening. That is the greatest charity that we can do. So great is Parikshit and great are our ancestors and all of you who are all attached to this katha. So today is the conclusion day. So for 15 days we celebrated the Pitru Paksh and Shrimad Bhagavatam Katha. We started from first canto and concluded at the 12th canto. And towards the end, Shukdevji recites, we should venerate the Lord, we should chant the holy names of the Lord, and by that only our sins will be atoned and our distress will be removed, and we will achieve peace and love of the Lord. So I just request you, you all are listening to the katha, so we all should pray to the Lord. We should chant the names of the Lord. So I have been observing that Harinam is going on, people come, but the people who come to listen the katha, the chanting is not that same. But when they are equal, then I will feel that the work is successful here. Then only we will have 100% result. But somehow everybody is trying on their level best. So I just want to say one more thing. Rabindranath Tagore, he wrote a beautiful poem. So one time the sun manifested and he said, I manifest day and night to give you light and heat. So at least do some work for me, 1 or 2 hours. So just take my work for. So crores of people were standing and he said that at least do this for one. So nobody came in front, said that we are not able to shine like sun. And then a small lamp was there and he came forward. He said that you can take rest. I will burn and give light. So if we compare the lamp of light and the effulgence of sun, but the sun said that at least you have tried. Everybody was mute, but at least you tried. That is why I'm happy. And I give my effulgence to you. So we all can only try our level best. That's what we can do. So we should always try to work hard and listen and try to practically apply or imbibe in our life. So we will have 2-3 days of separation and we will miss you each other, but we will have Maharas and Mahakirtan and we will meet again, sing and dance together. Please come with enthusiasm and zeal. So, I just thought that the Katha is organized by doctor, and she is an expert dancer, and she usually have physical Katha, and she dances beautifully. So I had this thought that that I realized that this is the Katha by Krishna Mataji. So we will dance a lot and we will enjoy the bliss. I'm really thankful to all of you. I especially want to thank the host family, the family of Munna Mataji, the Rawat family, and from Mumbai, Vasekar and Menon family. And we should remember their ancestors.
पद्म बहादुर जी रावत, कृतिमान रावत, धर्म सिंह बहादुर भंडारी, गोरखा बहादुर भंडारी, तिल माया भंडारी, और इस परिवार के जो आयोजक हैं गीता बहादुर भंडारी, निरंजन भंडारी, मनु भंडारी, आप सभी भक्तों का भूरी भूरी धन्यवाद.
So I am really thankful to all of you. I'm from Mumbai. Shri Vama Vasekar, Ansuya Vasekar ji, Girdhari and Shivdasani and Nirmala Shivdasani, and Balakrishna Menon and Kamla Menon. And there is no doubt in my mind that all your ancestors have reached the eternal abode of the Lord like Parikshit, because the sons of such parents who chant the holy names, they always will get benefited, there is no doubt. So let's conclude this session with Jai Jaikar, this Vyaspit, this Bhagvat Katha from UK and Bharatvarsha.
पुराण की श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान